Hey everybody, this is League0101010001 here, and today is Saturday, May 30th, 2020, and we are getting our septic system replaced today. Yep. So, there's a bit of a story behind this. One random day, we decided to figure out why there was a pump down here that didn't work. So we went ahead, pulled the pump up. There's definitely been some recent work done over here in terms of clearing out for the sewage tank, and part of that involved getting some little house-looking thing torn out. By the way, that's way out over there in the burn pile. But anyways, there used to be a little air pump and a little air compressor thing right there, and it had a pipe that went down and into the tank, into our 500-gallon sewage tank that was installed sometime in the very early 1980s. I wouldn't be surprised if it was installed when the cabin over there, which you can kind of barely see, was built and connected up to utilities, including electrical power, water, and sewage. So this tank and that cabin was probably built sometime around 1981, 1982, so I think Darrell Hall and John Oates era. And here we can see the sun beginning to creep in, and the humidity beginning to rise sharply. But anyways, right here, there used to be a little house thing. There used to be a pump on this little pad right here. So we took that up, took it apart, found out why it died. Bearings had run dry of oil, the pump locked up, and it basically caught fire and burned itself open circuit. And that was on May 2nd. And we have this electrical line, which had power up until recently. This line was permanently disconnected on May 2nd of this month, this year. But it had power all the way up until then. More on that later, though. So we have a Clearstream Wastewater Systems Incorporated tank, model 500H, serial number C051348, with a capacity of 500 gallons, and it is a class 1 tank. I don't know what that means. Maybe someone can explain it in the comments. But anyways, this tank, our sewage system is, well, if y'all know how the house is, you can probably take a guess as to how the sewage system is. i.e. jank. So, these white flags, there's one there, there's one there, there's two more up there. Those all mark the position of the sewer line. And the last known position of the line is right there at that flag. We had, I believe, I don't know if we had AAA. No, we had Another person who works on septic systems. His name's Mr. Chuck Whitehead. If any of y'all go to art, you'll probably know Clay Whitehead. But yeah, we had him come out and just have a look at the system to see what we have. And, well, it's supposed to be a three tank system. It's supposed to be a 3-tank system, but we only have one. Our sewage line, I think it's a 4-inch. I don't exactly know. It comes out of the house. Can't see it really, but it comes out of the house, and it comes all the way down here and into the tank. And then out of the tank, and it just runs off into the pasture. See if we can't get a good look at where it drains out. Probably not going to be able to, but he said it's supposed to be like a three or four tank system, and we only had one, from what we could tell. So we had Benjamin Franklin come out, and we had him go ahead and scope the line, and the machine they had, we were only able to get to about right here. That's the last known location of the sewage line. So, yeah. Now, we decided to go ahead and just make all of this stuff pretty much from the tank down null and void. That's happening today. Yesterday at about 2 p.m., AAA Sanitation came out, and we had the tank pumped out for the final time yesterday at about 2 p.m. After that, the little house thing here got plucked up out of the ground, torn up, and then put over there on the burn pile. Also, yesterday morning, equipment was delivered, and we had to sign for it, so that way we could dig the hole for the new tank, which in about a few hours, there's going to be a giant hole where I'm standing, and this tank over here is going to be completely crushed in and buried, along with all this other stuff surrounding these trees, the little wood decorations. And we are getting a new tank, a single tank put in right here that is compartmentalized into 4 smaller tanks. So it's one physical thing going in the ground, but it has 4 tanks. We're gonna have the main. I forget the exact details, but we're gonna have the main tank, and then we're gonna have the main tank is the one where pretty much everything flows into. So if like someone runs some water down a sink, yeah, you're gonna see it going to the main tank. I forget what the other 2 tanks are, but what we have is a combination of the second and third tanks, called a clarifier tank. Right here, what you're looking at, and then we're gonna have the gray water tank, and that is gonna be the last tank in the system. And then there's gonna be a pump there that is gonna feed 2 360-degree sprinkler heads. One of them going there, the second one going right in there. Yep. So, this tank should be pretty much completely empty. Also, we had some lime poured. Whenever the tank was being pumped, lime got poured down into the bottom of the tank to help kill the smell that is going to result from the tank being crushed in. I kind of like to save that data plate off of there. But yeah. This thing right here, the red thing, that is a trench digging machine, because we're going to have all new electrical run down here. And that's also going to mean whenever the circuit gets landed into the panel, that's going to be the first time the main breaker on this house has been shut off since March of 2018. I'll go ahead and put the exact date of that particular video into this video right about now. And yesterday evening, Mr. Chuck came out and delivered some stuff. These two big teal, I guess, lines. These are going to be the main sewage lines going into the new tank. These purple or pink lines, these are Schedule 40 lines, reclaimed water, do not drink, and the color coding is for non-potable water, i.e., don't drink this. You know, where it says reclaimed water, do not drink. And this gray piping, that is going to be electrical conduit. And last night some minor preparatory work was done. Him and Mr. Clay went ahead and trenched under the sidewalk into the yard and ran a line. And what they're going to do is they are going to trench. They're going to trench from right up there at the house down to the tank with the trench digger. There, and there's my dog Landon, as can be seen through our fence. And then there's going to be a disconnect mounted on the outside of the house. And right up there is an antenna. I'll make a separate video detailing what happened there. And that same video will also cover why there's no phone box on the house anymore. But anyways, there's going to be a disconnect mounted somewhere in there. And then there's going to be a hole put through the wall. And then it's going to go into the breaker panel where the circuit will eventually be landed. But yeah. Now I'm going to go into our utility closet and explain some more stuff about the electrical side. Be right back. Okay, here we are back in the tech room where I literally just turned on 3 out of the 4 lamps, indicating, which explains why it's kind of dim in here. Oh, by the way, new to me laser printer. But here we are in the tech room, and here we are in the utility closet where things are looking a bit different. Again, I'll explain all of this in a later video. Oh, by the way, you can stand in here for the first time in like 9. Oh, by the way, you can stand in here for the first time in like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. But anyways, here is our Square D QO Series 30 circuit 200 amp electrical panel. We have 4 spaces open, so it's either going to go in 6, 8, 25, or so the new breaker is going to go in 6, 8, 25, or 27, and is going to be a Square D QO Series 20 amp breaker or thereabouts. Now, breaker number 23 has breaker number 23 has, used to have the pump on it, and it also, for some inexplicable reason, has a garage door on it. It also says plugs inside here, so I'm going to guess this and this. It also used to have this timer box on it. As you can see, out of service was 5, 1 at 5.2. Not wired up, load not present. So yeah, down in, so yeah, these two bare wires, those go down to where we were earlier with that electrical line. And then these two wires that are capped off, those come from the panel. They had this thing wired up completely backwards. Completely wrong, actually. They had it set up so this thing was effectively on permanently all the time. So, and this thing was probably installed in 83 or 87 because this utility closet happens to land right around the 1987 expansion area. But at the same time, it serves everything in the 1983 original portion of the house, plus the 1987 expansion, so I don't know. But anyways, there's going to be a new breaker going in here. And there's the 200 amp main breaker that we really don't want to touch. But anyways, they had this timer box wired up completely wrong, so the pump was just basically running all the time, so yeah. But yeah, the next portion of video you see will be of the old tank getting crushed in. So, see you then. Okay, we're back. Tank's not going to get crushed in yet. But you can hear the trench digger at work. Over there, digging up the trench for the lines that are going to eventually feed the two sprinkler heads. See what our tank's looking. See what our tank is looking like today. Yeah, I'd say that's about empty. And that's the PVC pipe that eventually goes down and drains out into the pasture. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I think you should be able to hear me. Going by past experience, especially with my computer cleaning videos when the air compressor's been going for about 65% of the video length. But this tank is going to get crushed in with the backhoe, and this whole mess is just going to get buried. So anyways, there's the trench digger. And then there's the trench that's being dug. And that's gonna have those purple potable water lines. You know, these things that say reclaimed water, do not drink. It looks like these were sold from the factory as a bundle. Either that or they're just barcoded as such. But next clip of video, don't know what it's gonna be. Could be the tank getting crushed in. Could be doing electrical. Really don't know. And here's a different view of the trench. And the trench digger. Looks like a tree root. We'll be back. Alrighty, so they started They've started digging this up. They found the line. Due to the angle this is at, they're going to dig back a bit more, and then they're gonna cut that off, and then I guess immediately following that, we're going to go ahead and bust that whole tank in, everything around it too. And we've also done some more discussion on electrical. Right under the meter can on the house, looks like we're going to come out there and turn for the circuit, for the new 20 amp single pole 120 volt circuit. Going to be a square DQO series 20 amp breaker, and they're going to put a disconnect right under the meter can for the, and then they're going to go down, and then they're going to trench. They're going to trench down here to the tank. So I imagine it's going to be a little bit before they have to cut the mains to land the circuit. So, and by the way, there's the new trench for the 2 sprinkler heads. Of course, there's pipe all up in there. Hey, Clay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a sewage line, 3 inch. Just recording. Yep. I don't know if it was a 4 inch up there and then they went down to a 3 inch. Wouldn't surprise me. Probably did that for the same reason. They have a quarter of the house hanging off a 20 amp breaker. That's true. Yeah. Next piece of video footage is probably going to be either them digging here or them crushing in the tank. So
if I get this covered up or uncovered and stuff, I'm fixing to cut that. Taking multiple videos of it?
I have multiple clips, and I'm going to go ahead and drop them in a video editor and piece them all together.
Back up.
And they're about to go ahead and start digging. Trying to expose that line so they can cut it off. By the way, there are a ton of roots in the ground. Moving it with no effort. Here's Clay trying to find the line. That way it can get cut off. Yeah. Looks like we're not too far off. Eating the tank. And there goes the first stake. The second one actually, but one of the stakes went bye-bye a while ago. And we found the line. Battery-powered saw. All this is about to be null and void as soon as that saw gets it. What the world? They bend the pipe? like they bent the pipe.
No, it's just at a 40,000.
Null and void, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That is, the saw can make it null and void. Which it looks like it's going to do. Is it cut?
Back up, William, walk back up.
Would not be surprised if they're about to go ahead and bust that tank in. Looks like they just KO'd the line.
That's the line. That's the room.
Totally flattened that line. Here we go. Thanks for putting up a fight. Looks like it completely flattened the line as it tore it through.
Alright, he's fixing to start digging the main hole.
About to get messy. That tank crushed in with no problem.
backhoe.
Looks like the tank's going to be a bit further closer over here than what was originally planned because of the fact that they have another 45 on the line. You can see the hydraulic line jittering as he shakes the bucket. Oh, there was a bug on the camera. Where'd Mr. Don go?
I think he went inside with the electrical stuff.
Okay. I know we're definitely nowhere near landing the circuit yet because we need to get a breaker. There's the line again. Looks like he's compacting it down. Or he found more of the tank and he's trying to tear it in.
No, he's just packing it down.
Yeah.
The backhoe coming off the ground.
Yeah. Is that usual? Especially when it's pretty much clay.
Yeah.
And I guess he's had some jobs in more sandy environments where it just tears through it, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what we're about to do. Looks like we're raising the hydraulics. And we're moving. I believe that is Mr. Getting ready to punch through the siding so that way we can run our circuit. Hydraulics are going down again. Looks like that was about to KO a post. Or not. Even tell there's a tank there. Boulders of dirt. This is pretty much all red clay. Welcome to East Texas. That's a sweet gum that's about to get KO'd. sewage tank is going to be coming out of Nacogdoches. Hey Clay, what time is it?
8:40.
8:40? So tank's probably going to be here probably around 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Because our
9:45.
He's going to leave Nac at about 9:45?
No,
oh, that's... Huh.
he'll be here in about an hour.
Yeah, because Nac is about an hour and a half. Yeah, that's unusual. There's Mr. Don. In regards to our electric. So, hey, we'll see what the electrical situation is. Alright, it looks like we have a 60 amp feeding disconnect and we are putting our hole through the siding for our electrical. We've already verified that there's no cabling we're going to hit. The right spool is DirecTV, the left spool is for our internet. Again, future video on that. That is a 60 amp Eaton disconnect, if I haven't already mentioned that once or twice or 3 times. Now is that going to have a breaker in it or is it just going to be a pole? Looks like it's just going to be a pole disconnect. I believe we have a similar disconnect on our condensing unit. Looks like we might have to move that drip loop. Are y'all gonna have to disconnect that to move? Are y'all gonna have to disconnect that ground block to?
We gotta move all this stuff out of the way.
I know, but are y'all gonna have to disconnect that ground block?
Should we? Maybe we have to take.
Oh, y'all gonna need to disconnect that?
Probably.
Well, because this is all tied into it. We gotta move it somewhere.
Okay, now I'm going to let you know there's a zip tie right here securing this drip loop to this drip loop.
Alright, we'll cut it if we need to.
Okay, but let me let my mom know that DirecTV is about to temporarily drop.
No, it's not.
No, he's saying, are you taking it apart? Like disconnecting?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're just taking it off the wall.
Okay.
We're going to try to leave that there.
We're just going to move these.
Okay, so they're going to they're going to remove the drip loop. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Where? Are we getting anywhere with that, or is it just spinning?
It's spinning.
Yeah. My trick for that is I take something else and I push behind that to encourage it to move out.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? I got this thing way too dim. Progress continues with the sewage tank hole. Trying to get these.
He's going to get a screwdriver.
Okay. Is there any way to feed the wires in from the back?
We're knocking that one out.
Yeah.
And they're coming up through here. Coming out.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they would have offered you a better variety, like you could take the disconnect, stick it on the bottom, and then.
Right.
So we wouldn't have to move this drip loop. But oh well. Yeah. 3 trucks, 2 pieces of construction equipment, 1 sewage tank. So, I guess we'll be back whenever we have further development on the electrical situation. Okay, we're back. Disconnect box has been mounted on the house. You can see right in there is a hole through the siding, and we had to move the drip loop we had to finagle the drip loop for DirecTV service, so that way we could get the disconnect mounted. There's a disconnect handle sitting down there by the ground rod, which is also connected to the neutral up here, and the neutral is also connected up to the transformer and the neutral on the high voltage side, and it's also put down in the ground. So lots of neutralizing and grounding going on. Don't know what the status on the hole is. Mr. Chuck shut off the backhoe. So Clay's truck is a 97 F350 XL gas. Mr. Don's truck is a 3rd gen 2500 diesel. And Mr. Chuck's truck is a GMC 3500 heavy duty diesel. Hey, Mr. Chuck. So is the hole dug?
Almost. Not quite. Something like that. It's still got a ways.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get you a piece of green pipe. Huh? I want the only piece of green pipe we got, that long piece. That's fine.
Plumbing in the new sewage line.
What now?
Plumbing in the new sewage line.
Well, it will be when I get through. I ain't to that point yet.
Okay.
Weird freaking angle. Alright, cut me a piece with a bale. Cut me a 6-foot piece.
Are y'all gonna have that? Are y'all gonna want the clay and stuff flushed out of that line first before you?
I'm gonna get that out here in just a second.
Just stick your hand in and yank it out. Water?
Nuh-uh. Root.
Root?
Yeah. You said 6 foot? Yeah. William, will you hold that right there?
Right here. Clay's about to cut a 6-foot section of this line off.
You can let it go.
Okay. This pipe is really throwing the white balance for a loop. Oh, where am I? That thing really doesn't want to take it in.
Nope.
Yeah. My dad had one of those cheap Chinese tape measures and the thing broke by extending it to its full length.
Wasn't a perfect cut, but it was a cut.
And how deep is this hole?
It's 87 inches as of right now. Let me take that.
Oh, did you hear the echo when you tapped on the end of that?
Mm-hmm. That's just going back up to the line.
Yep.
How low is it? I'll go down a little more.
Imagine if a rock dropped on that, you'd hear it go dink.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tap on the end of the line again, please?
Hold on.
Alrighty. I got 31 minutes of battery left. Yep, that's it. Going back up to the lines in the house. And here we are getting ready for the line. Here we are getting ready to land the line over at the disconnect. Definitely gonna be a while before we land it in the panel and cut the mains so we can land it in the panel.
Second, pull some of the green back.
Trying to get some line.
Pull some of the white, a lot of the white. Alright. Cut them. Pull it.
That in right there. Get some of that new tape he's got and just tape them together so we can poke it through that box and come from the inside.
Definitely gonna salvage the data plate off of the tank lid. So anyways, is that that special oil resistant line or whatever? Like, does it have that plastic coating on it?
Yes, it has that plastic coating.
Yeah, I got some line that has that same plastic coating.
Right.
This is 3 spools of South Wire THHN 500 foot. And this is going to go from the panel into the disconnect. And I guess y'all are going to poke it through. Now would be a great time to have a breaker handy.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, Papa. You want me to go all the way up? Cover it? All the way? Alright, you sure? Okay.
We'll be back whenever we have further developments on the electrical or the tank situation. Okay, here we are back in the breaker panel, and we just got the neutral and ground conductors tied on to our ground bus. Also got it run in through the disconnect outside of the house. Our hot conductor's been wrapped around the neutral, and now we're just waiting on a breaker so we can land it in the panel. These 3 up here are our service lines. The middle one is our neutral, and then the 2 outer ones are our phase lines. There's a drill of some kind. The whole panel is shaking. So I guess they're remounting the drip loop for DirecTV. These have been out of service for quite a while. They've been out of service the nearly 13 years we've lived here. I think these went to an old 220 socket in the floor for a saw. Oh, that's lovely. They're sharing multiple wires under each breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera on charge, and we'll be back whenever there's another major development. Alrighty, holes dug, and the tank is way smaller than the hole. So all they have to do is just set the tank and backfill. But anyways, the tank is on its way, and the tank driver and the person and the people who haul in the tank, they probably had the foot on the floor from Turnertown in the ARP. Clay's truck is gone. He met him in ARP, and he's gonna lead him down here, and then they're gonna set the tank. Some of the plumbing work's been done on the 2 sprinkler heads. Backhoe's parked over there. So now it's just a waiting game on the tank. Got a line cut to size. Electrical work is continuing. As you can see, there's a bit more that's been dug out, and they're pulling wire through conduit. Wire is getting pulled through conduit right now. Got a trench dig across the yard, and we found an unknown PVC pipe coming out right by the ground rod.
Hold.
Excuse me, please. There's that PVC pipe. Carries or used to carry power of some sorts. Disconnects mounted on the house. Here's a drip loop that's been adjusted, so to speak.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to get it to?
So we're
Trying to get it to the...
carrying on. I think I hear Clay. I'm not sure if I hear Clay coming down the road.
Yeah, that's it.
Clay's coming down the road. Excuse me, please. There's a heck of a lot of racket coming down the road. Hey, Clay! There's Clay. And then behind him should be the tank. And should be the tank hauler people. And that is on the giant Sterling monorail crane truck. And as I said, they probably had the foot to the floor. That thing is making a heck of a noise. Septic systems. There is our new sewage. There is our new 4-part sewage system tank. On a Sterling monorail crane truck. Not to be confused with a monorail computer. Sounds like a manual transmission. Absolutely a diesel. Smell it. It is pretty tall. Hey, Clay.
Yes, sir.
So did they have the foot to the floor from Turnertown?
Pretty much, yeah. He beat me there.
And how far is Turnertown?
About 15, 20 minutes.
From ARP? normally 15 to 20,
We
and
got there in about 5. Or 6, or maybe 10. I don't know.
looks seem to be closer to 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. Got to be patient.
Need to wash the fence. And Mr. Chuck's truck.
Right on.
And correction, that's a GMC Sierra 3500 heavy duty gas, not a diesel. Sterling truck is absolutely a diesel. And I think they just found the culvert. Or he just mashed the brakes real hard. Oh, by the way, turning around out here is real fun, as you can see. Got it turned around. I don't know what we're going to do about that giant mound of dirt. I wonder if they're going to back up and Hey, Mr. Chuck, are they going to back up set the hydraulics and drop it in from behind?
Yes.
Okay.